Hi there, I'm Ryan Rastall, PGA professional and equipment expert for Golfshake.com. We are at the lovely Amendoeira Resort here in the Algarve in Portugal, and today I'm going to help you with some course management. So course management is something that's often overlooked by many golfers. It's something that maybe enough time isn't spent on, and today we're going to show you an example of where you can maybe pick up some scores and pick up some points on your playing partners just by thinking a little bit smarter out on the golf course. We're on the 15th hole here on the O'Connor, which is a pretty tough par 4. It's into the breeze today. We've hit a good tee shot. We're down the left-hand side of the fairway, and we've got what looks like a fairly short distance into the flag. It's 165 yards from here, which normally wouldn't pose much trouble, but as you can see, we've got a lot of trouble around the green. So if we miss it right there, there's a huge drop off and a big hazard, which you're probably not going to find your ball in. Anywhere short is going to roll back down into the hazard, and we can see the bunkers there on the left. So it's a very high tariff shot we've got to hit here. It's not easy. Plus, as you can probably see and hear, the wind is up as well. So there's probably about a 20-25 mile an hour wind here today, which is making the shot even tougher. 165 yards, as I've said, wouldn't normally be a problem, but on a day like this, we're probably safer playing a shot down the end of the fairway, using our handicap and our shots properly, and giving ourselves a chance of making a bogey with your shot, net par, or maybe even giving yourself a putt for a 4 net 3. And what we're going to do that with is, I would normally hit an 8-iron for 165 yards. I'm hitting an 8-iron, but I am not going for the green. I'm just going to play a very simple shot down the end of the fairway. About 80 yards I've got of run out before I get towards the hazard. So I'm just going to play a very simple 8-iron shot. Nice low runny one. Get it down to the end of the fairway. Give myself a chance of knocking it on the green and using my shots properly. And trust me, you'll be the one in the bar at the end taking the money off your friends. Hope you enjoyed that. Think about using your shots properly on the golf course. This hole is very, very difficult. It's got lots of runoffs next to the green, which we'll show you in a second, but I'm a firm believer that holes don't need to be long to be tough, and this certainly isn't. It's 135 yards to the back flag there, and it still poses some real problems for most golfers. Now, it's a hole that generally people will probably just look at the flag and try and hit a shot at the flag, and I'm just going to show you that that may not be the best option when we're playing this hole. So we're going to play the tee shot here now. We can see that that pin is over that right-hand bunker. I'm going to be going nowhere near that, okay? We've got this bunker at the front, which poses a little bit less of a threat for us. It's easier for us to carry. As I've said, it's 135 yards to that flag, into quite a strong breeze, but to hit it into the center of the green there, it's only 125 yards, all right? Yes, there is a bit of a tier in the green, but I'm going to try and get on the top tier in the widest part of the green and hopefully give myself the best chance of making a 3. This is not a hole I'm going to be trying to go for the flag and make a 2, okay? It'd be lovely, but I would rather walk off with a nice safe 3 onto the next hole. So we're going to aim away from the flag, where we've got the deepest part of green to aim at. So you can just see here the left edge of that front right bunker. That sort of corner of the green up to the back left is the deepest part of the green. So that is going to be my area to aim at. As I've said, we're into the breeze. It's a very strong breeze as well. 135 yards for me would normally be a pitching wedge. This is so strong. I'm going to hit an 8-iron. Which I would normally hit 160 to 165, so that tells you how strong this wind is. But I'm also not going to hit a full shot with an 8-iron. I'm going to try and swing it a little bit smoother, keep the flight down. The last thing I want to do is get that ball ballooning in the air, because it's going to do two things: make it land shorter, but also make it spin more. So when it hits that green, we've got that big tier in the green like we've said, it's going to land at the top and spin all the way down and leave myself an absolutely huge putt as well. So what we're going to try and do is hit a shot where we're maybe not hitting it flat out, so it's a 3/4 8-iron for me, just to keep the flight down, keep the spin down, and hopefully get it going through the air a little bit better and landing on the green. So here goes. We're going to aim, as I've said, left of that front bunker. We're not going to be doing a full out 8-iron swing, just a nice smooth one. Get it started in the middle of the green and hopefully finishing there. Pretty much bang on where I wanted it. Great line. We'll get up there and have a look. So we can see where we found ourselves. We're on the green. That's one thing ticked off. Brilliant. We're in the widest bit of the green. You can see just how much green I've gone over to get to this point. We're on the top tier of the green, and we can also see now how tight the shot would have been over the bunker. I've only got about 10-15 feet of landing area there, where I've got about 50 feet of landing area this way. Yes, if I'd have been short, it would have ran down to the bottom of the green and I've had a monster putt, but I'd certainly rather be putting from down there than I would if I'd have hit it another 10-15 feet. Look where it could be. So lurking just 10 feet past where our ball has landed on the green, we can see if it had rolled that little bit further, goodbye. And now all of a sudden we're left with a shot. We're going to have to play with quite a lot of loft out of probably a horrible lie to a flag that we haven't got much green to work with. And, you know, even worse, if it had landed on that slope, it could have gone in that water hazard. So we really have thought about all of the danger around this green and played to our strength. We've played to the deepest part of the green with slightly less club than to reach the flag. We haven't bothered with the flag whatsoever. We've been smart about how we've played, we've used our shots, and we've given ourselves the best chance of making a good score. Yes, I've got about a 35-foot putt from here, but I would rather be here than down there or down the bottom of the green, or certainly in that bunker or back right, because very, very slim chance of up and down from there, and I'd back myself to 2-putt most times from here. So we've left ourselves a long putt, but we've really thought about how we've played the hole. We've played to the longest part of the green, given ourselves the best chance of hitting that green. Yes, we've left a long putt, but we can give ourselves a 2-putt for a par, maybe on the off chance you might hole one for a birdie, or even if you 3-putt, it's not the end of the world, because most players, if you're a mid-handicapper, are going to get a shot on this hole. So let's play a putt. Let's see if we can get down in 2, walk off with our par. Be pretty happy with that one. Left myself a couple of feet for a par, but I've thought properly about how I'm going to play this hole, and I really suggest you do that. Look at the par 3s on your golf course. Are there places on the greens that are easier to hit? Are there deeper parts of the greens? Can you stay away from the hazards around them? Think about par 3s when you're playing them, and your scores will start tumbling down. When it comes to selecting the right club, we all have that friend that we play golf with that thinks they hit a 7-iron, 180 yards, and always ends up short of every green that they aim at. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about how to play to your strengths and also how to choose the right club in order to kind of minimize the damage if we do miss the green as well. So the par 3 here, we've got 160 yards to the flag. It's into the breeze a little bit, so it's playing about the 170 mark. Now, for me, that would normally be 7-iron, all right? 7-iron up to about 170, 175 for a good strike. Now, there is not a chance I'm going to get a 7-iron to that flag today in these conditions. The sun's starting to go down, it's getting colder, we're into the breeze, as I've said, and if we look at the hole, all the trouble is short, okay? So we've got 2 huge bunkers there short of the green, and not too much trouble over the back. It's quite a deep green from front to back, so I've got a bit of a landing area over the flag there. So the natural choice is going to be one more, 6-iron, okay? So I'm going to hit a shot now and talk you through a little bit what I'm thinking as I'm stood over it as well. So we can see this green here is huge, it's massive. The flag is tucked a little bit towards the left-hand side of it, but I'm not going to be going at the flag. I'm going to aim middle of the green there, so over the sort of right edge of this front bunker. I normally hit a little bit of a draw shape, so should I hit my normal golf shot, that's going to turn slightly in towards the flag, But if I don't, I'm in the middle of the green and I'm putting. The key thing here is distance. Now, the last thing I want to be is short, so I'd rather the club to go a little bit too far. If I hit my 6-iron really well, it's going to go about 180, just over 180. So I'm playing the conditions properly here. So like I say, it's cooler, it's into the breeze a little bit, it's 160 yards. So I'm playing with a club that should comfortably, in flat calm conditions, go 20 yards further. But I'm sort of playing for that yardage to be knocked down a little bit because of the conditions. So let's play a shot. So I'm going to aim middle of the green with a 6-iron, hopefully hit a nice shot. Started exactly where I wanted it. It's nice high flight. It's in the center of the green there. It hasn't moved at all, but like I said, I'm putting. I've got quite a simple putt to the flag. Now, if I then try and aim at the flag, this is where some of my problems are going to come in. So let me just play a shot now where I'm aiming a little bit more aggressively towards where the pin is and hit a normal swing. So I've actually hit my draw this time. It started at the flag, turned off it and ended up in the left-hand bunker about pin high, so the distance was good, but where I've hit it is exactly not where I want to be. So the first shot I've hit, I've thought about where I'm going to aim it, I've gone for the middle of the green and I've hit a nice straight tee shot and I'm putting. I've got about a 25-foot putt for a birdie. So chances are I'm probably going to walk off more times than not with a par, but I've played the conditions properly, I've played the shot properly and I haven't been too aggressive. It's certainly a problem that I see with amateur golfers where they try and hit a shot that they're just not capable of doing, or certainly not capable of hitting with any regularity. So let's think about the shots that we're hitting, think about the club we're using and think about where the trouble is and where we can afford to miss the green. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's going to help you with your course management this season. Enjoy your golf.